So we're in Elderborough. I don't know the names of these towns. Jake is in jail. Guy is in jail. Call him Jake in the bedroom.
Whoa.
It's fine. Guy is in jail. We're trying to stay out of jail while getting information on the next tower. You know, if it wasn't for all the government, this place would probably be real pretty.
Nice. Short, sweet, and to the point.
Yep. I mean, we didn't do much.
Yeah.
I mean, you did some stuff
Yeah,
there.
so
you got,
I'm talking about like we did a lot, but when you break it down to like bullet points, it was like one thing.
That's fair. That's fair. So you had paid the cartographers to deliver the maps to the Sinful Red.
Mm-hmm.
They said the gnome would have told you that they'll get them to you by dinner time because they need to basically copy over some maps to get them all detailed for you. Yeah. So they're going to work on that. When you get back to the Sinful Red, you has a letter from you have a letter at the front desk waiting for you.
Theo opens the letter.
Who's going to be writing us a letter?
It's probably Guy.
I actually think would be really hilarious. That'd be funny. Maybe in post figure it out. Have you guys do like your best Guy impression as you read the letter?
He just hands the letter to Alred. I can't read his fancy handwriting.
Is this the letter? Okay.
Yep.
And the voice in Doric's head as he reads it sounds something like this. Dearest Theodore and Doric, I am in good enough health and seem to be mostly cleared of charges. I seem to simply need to finish my studies and quickly graduate from the Citadel, aka the Mage School. I have no idea how long it will take, but I'll do my utmost of effort to get the job done in record time, my dear friends. While there, I will attempt to also glean any... Shit, I lost my space. Information I can in the library about the Spire or the cult and its leaders. At some point in the near future, we will also have to take a stroll over to my old homestead. And I don't know this word.
What's it say?
Asuj? Legitimately, what is that? Asuage.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. For that one, but basically address the concerns.
Of my mother and for myself to drop off some funds. Best regards, Guyverson Fields. Why can't he write normal?
He's... I don't know, he's quirky, I guess. I don't know. Looks at the bartender. Where is the Citadel? I'm assuming this note was read out loud.
Yes, I read it in... and then read it in Guy's voice to Theo.
read it in Guy, in impersonation of Guy.
Yes.
So the Citadel is on an island in over on Leland Lake. It's not accessible to anyone who's not a student or part of the military that's in support of the Citadel.
Cool. Yes, it's the next town, though, right? If I remember my maps right.
It would be the next city. It's off to the south and west of the city.
Okay. Well, we gotta head that way anyway. I don't think it'd be wise to wait for him if he's going there.
Do we know where his homestead was?
100%.
You know it's somewhere in Nordica.
Well, that's great. You know, I know you live somewhere in the United States.
Basically, yeah. That's all you've known because he hasn't actually really talked about it. You know, it's like in the kind of like the pine foresty type terrain, but that's also probably 3/4 of Nordica is pine forest. So,
yeah, for real, awesome.
So let's see. Get our maps. We should probably send him a letter telling him we will meet him in the next town. We will send him a letter as to where we are when we get there. Since he's going to be at school, because he's a nerd.
Say that like it's a bad thing. Just wait till I have
the bartender just kind of glares at you a little bit at the nerd line.
Do you happen to know where a lot of hobbits, halflings live?
There's the dwarf racism again.
There's that Freudian slip.
My bad.
Kind of all over off the roads. I mean, they're not really in the cities.
Well, see, we know our friend lived on a farm. I know that's not very... You know what? This is probably a futile effort. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think the tavern owner or tavern bartender?
Is there a tavern run by halflings here in town?
Oh, God. There's
not in this town,
there's
no.
2 taverns.
That's
We've been
true.
over
There
this.
is.
Or
I
two.
yeah, I knew that. I knew there were 2 taverns. The other one could have been halflings. I don't know.
You knew there was 2 taverns near the center of the city. That's why you picked one of them.
So you probably don't know them, the Fields, because the name was said out loud. So
Never heard of him.
just figured. Is this still the Awesomeer?
Probably, because it wouldn't be super late in the
I
day.
don't think it was even lunchtime yet.
Yeah.
We gotta head to the next town.
Do you want to go ahead and make our way now, or do you want to?
We need
do it
to
in the morning?
send a letter back to Guy telling him we're going to be in the next town.
Is there a return address on the letter?
There would not be.
We know where he's at. It's not like we don't know where he's at. We can just say, hey, could you deliver this letter to Gyverson Fields at the Inquisitor's office?
Or we could just send it to the school because he knows he's going to be. We know he's going to be there.
This is true.
Is there a post office here? Wait.
Bar.
Hang on. How far away? How close to the Inquisitor's office can we get?
I mean, you can see all the way to the main center of the government there, but
I need to know in feet.
feet. Let's say the door you saw Guy enter is about 200 feet away.
Well, that's not a good answer because I needed it to be less than 120 feet to message him.
And you also know that he entered that door, but the complex is very large, so he could be in any part of these buildings.
That's not going to work then. Okay.
So if he's going back to school to finish his studies, honestly, as long as it keeps him out of trouble, he just needs to finish it. I don't want to deal with an
It
execution.
might make it where he doesn't die as easy. Also, he is rather
That's not
squishy.
so. That's not because, but he doesn't keep going down and getting unconscious in battle because he's not apt at battle. He just doesn't want to fight.
Maybe they'll teach him how to fight proper. Not that a cleric knows how to fight, says the one who went down with scorpions.
I mean, to be fair, you were ambushed, so
Yeah, but still.
He does well enough when he is actually far enough away from the enemy.
Has he killed anyone?
That's not something to brag about.
I think the bartender raises an eyebrow. Are you going to purchase anything, or are you going to quit using up space at the bar?
Hands 5 silver over to the bartender. Thanks for keeping our letter. We'll take, puts another gold there. We'll take, I don't know, some cheap lunch meals. Whatever you suggest.
Very well. You also don't tell an inquisitor no.
No to what?
They'll take the money and head to the backside of the bar counter to go make up something.
The Inquisitor, no. Were we asked to do something?
No, the letter was brought from the Inquisitor's office.
Okay, that's fair.
Also, by the way, a detail that I had shared with Jake. The letter had a wax seal that you would have seen when you opened it.
Mm-hmm.
It has the Inquisitorial seal, which is a golden wax that has a quill and sword crossed as the insignia.
That's pretty wicked.
I like that.
That is pretty cool. Like I said, if these guys weren't such assholes about like everything being against the law, this would probably be a nice place to live.
Which is the quill or the sword?
In a bureaucracy-based government, the pen, 100%.
It's actually kind of a metaphor in and of itself because they have the power of the quill, but if they ever goes to war, they also have the power of the sword.
So their holdings isn't as big as others.
Upstairs right now. Or,
Yeah, I said you probably would have got it for a couple nights.
Yeah, we rented it for 2 nights. Because we didn't know how long it was going to take with Guy, and we had to do recon.
thinking about going up there and working on a project while they eat lunch or something. Is it okay if I do that? So,
You can do whatever you want to do.
So, Dorric would like to go up to the room so he can be alone for a moment or two by himself.
Okay.
That came out
Jesus,
really
me time.
wrong.
I'm just gonna drink my drink and eat my food.
Yeah.
Waiting for the. Could probably do some. If they don't object to it, do some weapon maintenance over in the corner, like where there's nobody at. Probably just like shine up his sword or maybe repair some cracks in his shield or something. Just some little shit.
They would grumble, but they're just kind of like, whatever. There's nobody in here. As long as you're paying, I don't care.
Yeah, he's just trying to spend some time. He doesn't. He doesn't have any books to read, so he can't. He doesn't want to go out and get in trouble. He's just waiting for that cartographer guy to show up with his maps.
Yeah. So you're sitting there, just kind of cleaning up your sword. The SMR would come out with basically it's like a plate of like cold cuts.
Ooh.
With some veggie on the side. Kind of pop it down on the table and it has the two plates and says, "Huh? Seems your friend left you."
He went up to the room to do something by himself. I don't know. I didn't ask questions.
I didn't ask for the story, but okay.
He just kind of giggles a little bit at this chick's attitude.
She needs some of that good old cleric alone time.
That's some alone time with your deity of choice.
Sure.
That makes it even worse. At some point while you're kind of, sitting there working and eating your lunch there, the other bartender will show up and they'll both be kind of at the bar for a little bit. A couple other customers show up to, get food or whatever. It's a pretty lazy day, and it takes a little bit after the lunchtime sort of rush that the Asmar will go back into where the tiefling came out of. Kind of like they went back to their rooms in the tavern or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you're just going to sit there and wait, it wouldn't be till dinner time, so you'll be sitting there for a while. So if you're going to do anything else, I guess in your meantime, do you have anything else you want to do?
Let's see. I don't have any scrap or anything on me to craft with. Hold on, let me look at my stuff quick.
Yep.
I think. There's not really much I can do. I'm just gonna chill out. Yes, he's specifically waiting on something. Every now and then he'll order a drink just so he's not like just sitting here.
Yeah. Okay. So then we'll go to Dorric's me time.
So,
do you want headphones off, or you fine as is?
He can.
Okay.
Yeah, he can listen. That's fine. It's nothing. I just feel like Dorric would want to be alone to do this. God, phrasing, Jesus. So Dorric goes up to the room. Picture myself sitting down. I pull out the bag that we got from the cultist that Theo, let's say, cut in twain, shall we?
Literally just cut his head off.
Oh, you cut his head off? I thought you cut it in half.
Yeah. No, I literally just cut his head off.
Oh, okay. Well, so inside it, he pulls out that bag that deranged cultist gave us and pulls the head that was in there that he had decapitated off. And it's probably mildly decaying at this point because it's been a day or two since that. 3-4 days, give or take, maybe.
Yeah, it's been a couple days.
So Dorric will take it, set it on, sit down on the ground, basically like crisscross applesauce, and set the head in front of it. And have it's looking at him. And he kind of talks to himself and breathes deeply. And goes, I've never done this before, but let's see if we can get this to work. And so he casts a spell that he's never cast before. A spell that involves some necromancy on it. The spell is, what is it? Flints? Is that how you say it? Fleece? Is it flints? Yeah. And with the touch, you strip the flesh, muscle, and internal organs off of your target, leaving only bare bones. The effect depends on whether the target is living creature, undead, etc. This is obviously a dead creature. And so for an inanimate corpse, it says, the flesh, muscle, viscera, and organs are stripped away from the corpse and vanish, leaving only bare bones behind. So, in my mind, as he does this, if there's any candles, any light in the room, it dims slightly as he casts this spell, and it just kind of melts away till there's nothing left but that skull and just a slacked jaw, off kilter jaw on that skull. As he looks at it and everything. Does that work for you, Peter? I mean, I rolled for it. It was a 14, but I mean, I'm kind of like it's inanimate, so I figure I can't really screw it up too bad.
Yeah, I would say, like, I mean, I would have put it, yeah, the DC would have been plenty past, so.
And so, with that, Dork would love to attempt a crafting of the skull. And now that it is stripped of everything and just bone, so I would like to turn it into a cup.
Sure.
So roll for crafting.
Yes, please.
And be nice to me, bot. 15?
I think, his skull is relatively bowl-shaped, so I'd say it's pretty easy to kind of make a skull into, a cup or a bowl pretty easily without doing anything too fancy.
Outstanding. That is what I love to hear. So now I have a skull cup. Yay. And so I will just store that in my bag and throw the bag that had the skull, decomposing head in it. Just throw that away, but keep the masks that were in there, because I think there was a broken mask and a whole mask in there. On there. And so after doing this, he probably feels different. It's the first time he's ever cast anything that was from I cannot say this word.
Necromancy.
It's the first time he's ever really done a spell like that. And so, he kind of settles himself, gets everything back together, and goes, okay. Comes back down and to see Theo and munch some food and drink and wait for the maps to arrive.
So, let's see. I wanted to do something. Let's see. Bum. Let's see. Just going back into the stuff he said here. So, when he goes to get up, give me a, let's go with a will save.
Okay. Okay. 27.
God.
That is my best category.
Yes. So, okay. You felt something when you were all done and you got up, almost as if it was like almost as if there was like a presence, but you kind of, as you get up, you kind of shake your head, and it just the feeling goes away.
Kind of like there was somebody standing behind me, kind of thing. Like
more like you were, how if you've ever kind of like, you ever had that feeling where there's somebody when you turn they're not there, that kind of feeling.
Gotcha.
Don't like
that. What'd you say?
I said, don't like that. You're being watched.
Yeah. Somebody's watching me.
Note there. Alright, so then you head down to share some lunch.
Did I miss anything? Have the maps arrived, Theo?
Not yet.
So I think you would get down. You'd head back down to the tavern. Excuse me. You head back down to the tavern right before that sort of shift change moment for the lunch, or where they're both out for lunch. Mm-hmm. So you see both of the bartenders out working to help, customers coming in, getting food, whatever. And then you'll see the the Asmir kind of leave after a little while, and you have your food. Slightly soggy vegetable at this stage because it would have just been sitting there.
It's okay.
It's a cold cut sandwich, so it's not really going to be too different sitting there.
As long as it's got just the right amount of mayonnaise. Actually, they're probably
mayonnaise is it the one that's like really easy?
I mean, it's eggs.
Eggs and oil.
Yeah.
I think they could probably have mayonnaise. That scared me. Discord. Why? I didn't put myself on Do Not Disturb. So I had a very loud noise go off in my ears. Alright. So you head down to have your lunch. That's like you said, around just about dinner time. A courier shows up with a large tube, and they say they're looking for a Dorric or Theo.
Right. Theo raises his hand over in the corner.
So I'll go over and hand you this scroll case, and
thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. And he'll turn to leave.
Pass him a copper as a tip for bringing it and delivering it.
Oh, that's like giving a waiter $1. Oof.
Fine. 3 copper. Listen, moneybags. Not all of us.
Giving a waiter $1.
I mean, it could be the mysterious half piece, like although Pathfinder doesn't have that weird ass fucking.
Oh, are you talking about
random?
What was that? Something with a Q, isn't it? I don't know. Whatever.
Sorry, all I had in my brain was, you give him a silver, and it's the scene from Euro Trip where he slaps the guy and says, "This, I have my own hotel." that popped in my head for whatever reason.
Right.
So you're able.
So it goes over the map real quick.
You got.
Between looks at it, basically compares the regular map or the road map to the cultists areas from here to the next town. If we could stay on the road without having to deal with any of them.
So the map was the cultist areas outside Nordica, because anytime there is any enclaves inside Nordica, they very quickly get squashed down.
Okay.
So you'd get a couple sort of dots over by White Lake, kind of off on the far side of White Lake. There's a couple dots that are on the map. There's a couple dots north of Snow Lake, which the spire is north of Snow Lake, so you're probably going to run into them when you get up that far north. And there's a couple off to the west as well.
Over in the woods.
Over in the woods. You'll notice there's a couple like down in the southern parts of the woods. But you'll notice there's a big gap in the northern part of the woods.
Must be
where there's no dots.
Elven territories.
That would make sense.
You've been told they're fierce fighters up here.
Wasn't there someone that warned us to stay away from them?
Everyone has warned us to stay away from them.
Pretty much.
All right. Say we wrap up here tonight and head out first thing in the morning. Because I do not want to travel in the cold and dark. One or the other is fine, but not both.
As somebody from a cold and dark state, I can agree with that statement. Yeah, so you guys can head up for the night.
What is the name of the next town? I'm pretty sure he's been told it several times, and it probably says so on the map.
Starkhold is the capital of Nordica. That's the next closest
Okay,
area.
so that's
The
where
one
we're
over
going
there
next
at
to
Leland.
Yeah. The Leland's off to the side of Starkhold, and Starkhold on the map is on the map it's absolutely huge.
Okay.
So is it like that whole village plus the castle looking thing, or
Yes.
okay? So all of that is Starkhold. That is
Yes.
a big ass town.
You'll actually see the way the map kind of lays it out is it actually is like two separate areas on the map, but they're all labeled as Starkhold.
Okay.
All right. We head out. He's going to talk to the bartender since this is the nice bartender. We head out in the morning to Starkhold. Our friend has been taken to the Citadel to finish his studies. Anything we should know about Starkhold before we get there as outsiders?
Sorry, let me get that real fast. The bartender. Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing he wasn't killed by the Inquisitors. As for Starkhold, the city itself is not too much different than Elderborough. It's a little bit more separated from the Temple of Ordos for the city itself, but otherwise it's a pretty nice little place. I haven't been there. I've only been there once myself, and they're generally welcoming to outsiders. You actually might see some of the neighboring countries' embassies are located up in Starkhold as well.
Okay.
I will say your dwarf friend, however, will definitely want to watch his tongue.
Dwarf
Hear
just
that?
kind of raises his head. I feel like this is a recurring theme.
It's
Well, the so-called Dwarven War for Independence was started by the Dwarven Prince making a mockery of the former Lord of Starkhold. son.
No,
Luckily-
I'm not from around here. What was the name of that dwarven prince?
I have to look up the name real fast because I do have it.
Yeah.
He's actually one of my characters that I've played before because I felt like it'd be fun to tie him in.
my friend here
As a
is a
historical
southern
thing.
dwarf. Born and raised in the
Apparently, I'm from
swamplands.
the bayou. And I didn't even know it.
A Bayou Dwarf.
I feel like
Oh,
he should
man.
sound a lot more like
Love it.
Foghorn Leghorn now for some reason. I'll say.
Oh, jeez. Where is it? That would have been Daeneric was the name of the prince. The stories say that he called the prince's horse the prince's name.
I mean,
That sounds-
depending on the horse, that's a compliment.
No,
The king didn't see it that way.
that's not really how that works with royalty.
Sounds like he needs to get a stick out of his butt. I think
Well,
I'm
he's been
beginning to
dead
see
for-
why you said I should watch my tongue.
He's been dead for about 800 years, give or take. So,
That's fair.
but that was the catalyst that started the war. Which, long story short, the dwarves' uprising killed the king. Then the Ordosi took over the leadership of the country, and then there was a war with the dwarves and the Ordosi, so that's why the dwarves are no longer part of Nordica.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a really long series of unfortunate events.
They should write a book series about it.
Would you read that?
Definitely.
You had me read Guy's note.
That's because I can't channel his pompous energy as much as you can.
Nice. Can't channel his pomp. I like it.
Alright. I am probably going to be turning in for the night. I've been sitting here long enough. My butt's sore from the chair.
Sounds good. Well, actually, I would like to go check on Coco before I go to bed, just to make sure she's doing okay. I know that we've paid for it and stuff, but you got a bond with the horse. We don't have to act it out. Or
I figured we had already, that was something we did in the background.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I will say your horses, for kind of the cold of the air, the stable itself is actually surprisingly a comfortable temperature, and they seem to be enjoying the relaxation. That's what I'll give you for your horses.
Nice.
Alright, so you're going to start out the next morning.
Yep.
Grab your horses, get your food or whatever you're going to do, and then head off on the road. Are you going to travel with a group or just travel solo?
If there's a group of people heading that way, we'll probably travel with them because it's safety in numbers.
Yeah, so you'll kind of find that there's not really any merchants looking to hire on guards, but there are people traveling between cities, couriers and stuff like that.
I wasn't expecting to find any merchants or anything like that. It was just, if there's a group of people there we're traveling together, it's easier to not get attacked with a group of people, even if you're not talking to each other.
Just having other people's presence.
Sorry, I want to write this down before I forget.
Pretty good practice.
Because you interrupted something that I think is a really fun theme of the week, so we're going to go with it. Yep. All right, so you just kind of travel. You find a group that's traveling, and you'll see there's kind of there's a variety of different people there. Primarily it seems that people who are leaving the city, heading out into the communities around the cities, are primarily your halflings and the occasional gnome. There are others, but the majority of them happen to be of those two groups. A couple humans do kind of go off to farms and stuff around the areas as you're traveling up and down the road. There's a couple little dotted towns and villages. Everything as you're walking on this road is probably by far the best repair road you've seen in your travels.
Now I understand why he was always talking about their taxes being so high. This road is impeccable.
Well, proper infrastructure takes coinage, so...
You also, as you're traveling, you'll see this road. It not only does it, as my fellow civil engineers will get a kick out of it, get a little giggle out of this. Not only does it follow it respects the topography, but it also is made in ways to kind of showcase some of the natural beauty of Nordica. So if there's a little waterfall area where a stream crosses over the road will be up on a bridge, and you'll have a nice view of that sort of waterfall spot. And if there's hills that overlook, different forest sites and stuff. It's like the roads all tend to feature these views as you're moving.
What is the weather like at this time? Like, are we already starting to get like wintry snowfall, or is it just this is like the north and it's colder than it is elsewhere?
I wouldn't really say snowfall. It's that cold wind and the occasional like mist as you're traveling.
Is it misty enough for me to be considered wet? Because that matters with my cloak.
Well, I was going to make a really unfortunate joke, but I'm going to refrain. I would say there's definitely moments because when you're traveling for it's like a 2-day journey, so there's definitely a couple moments where it's uncomfortably damp.
That is unfortunate.
Yep. This is this kind of weather doesn't bother me because I'm used to being in the mountains where it's raining a lot of the time.
We don't get, I mean, we do get rain in the mire, but we don't get much of the coldness that you see here. This breeze is not like the breeze that comes off of the ocean.
Yeah, because if you were getting cold breezes in the mire, you start getting into the death fog.
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to
freeze
breathe
to death because
the air would be thick and hard. Oh wow, jeez, really? God, y'all, I promise, this is not on purpose. It's not a bit. This is just me naturally, and oh my God, how am I not constantly in HR's office? God. I just need to change my profile picture to that. Jeez.
Yeah, so like I said, that's a 2-day journey. The road is uneventful, just beautiful, cold, kind of wet. Definitely not fun. And you do end up coming up to the outskirts of Starkhold. Now the outskirts of Starkhold, wrapping around the city itself is fields of different crops. Yes,
like fields of fields,
like
fields of his family.
No, fields of crops and/or dreams. If you are into that,
there's not a baseball field out there. Don't lie to me.
There could be. Who knows? Maybe the Ordos you like baseball.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Oh my God!
It's definitely a rules-based game, so I can see why they might like it.
I guess that
they like cricket. First of all,
Padres. That's a bad.
But so there is. So it's a very large city that's surrounded by these farm fields, and there's like little dots of clusters of buildings, maybe where all the farmers kind of live and stuff around the city proper. And there's just a very large city, a very large walled city. And then behind it on a bluff is an absolutely obscenely large structure.
What kind of architecture are we talking about with that large bluff building?
It would be very similar to a lot of the sort of I'm trying to think. I don't remember what the architectural style is actually called, but the sort of like the large churches and stuff
Gothic?
you would see in. It's not Gothic. The Nordic countries don't really have Gothic architecture.
Is it more like Greco-Roman with large columns, or?
No, because it's mostly like sharp edges.
Okay.
It's not really columns because those attract mess and snow.
Renaissance type architecture?
No, so
I think it's that ornate.
no, so I'm kind of looking at it, but basically, so a lot of the stuff is like a lot of straight sort of edges, a lot of slopes in this architecture itself.
So they're taking the weather into account when this was built, also.
Yes, there's not. I mean, from this distance, you couldn't be able to see it, but if you were to get closer, there's not like the really intricate architectural like details and flair in the structures themselves, because those would create pockets for moisture. So everything is incredibly practical and functional, but also the way they do it is very beautiful to look at, because it's not.
Would I be able to tell at this distance if this was made like by the dwarves prior to the rebellion that we kind of learned about, or if it's something newer, or like in?
So there's definitely. So give me. I'm trying to think what's a good roll for that.
I know that's kind of a sticky question.
Victorian?
My brain says. No, that's English. It's. I mean, if you look up Scandinavian architecture, I mean, there's a shit ton of examples.
Okay.
I'll pick out a couple nice
Gotcha.
ones.
Hmm.
So I would say probably the crafting is the best role for that.
Cool. Works for me. That's fine. And we roll mediocre. 15.
What are we looking
That's
not
not really
mediocre,
mediocre,
it's-
but yeah, 15.
What are we looking for?
So you can definitely tell there are definite dwarven efforts into this structure, because few outside the dwarven builders would know how to make stone hold up structures that large. Like this actual structure itself is almost the size of the city it's in front of. Like it's behind. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So this structure is like a city in and of
So
itself.
it's been there for a while, then.
Yes.
But it does it look worn or still like in good condition?
There's always going to be marks
Sure.
of it being worn down, but it also is maintained.
Okay. All right.
It's a big building.
I wonder if somebody's compensating for something.
Every dwarf everywhere.
What is that supposed to mean?
Oh no, you tell me.
Are you judging me by my beard length, sir?
As soon as it's about dwarves, he turns around to be a completely different tone.
All right. So let's find inn. I would not go to a CD inn this time. And get ourselves a room. I'm going to assume Guyverson has made his way to the Citadel at this point, and we can send him a letter.
Is the Citadel here? Was the Citadel was in Starkhold, or is it
It's
further north?
close to Starkhold. It's at Leland Lake.
The Citadel is in the lake next to Starkhold.
Wait, like in the lake? Like there's an island?
Yes, there's an island in the lake where the Citadel is located.
Ooh, I kind of missed that.
So he's talked about it like 3 times now.
Can we see the Citadel from where we are?
No, you
Okay.
don't.
Alright. Let's find.
I just kept taking it as like it was next to Leland, not like physically, literally, I guess.
Well, they need a way to isolate, so
So the cartographer guy, he gave us a map of Nordica and nothing north, right? Told us to talk to somebody. Was it in Starkhold or the next town?
he gave you the next city's cartographers guild. Actually.
Okay. So we are good on maps until we reach the next city, which Theo would remember the name. My brain has been through a lot today, so I can't remember shit today.
That's the city of Snowport.
Snowport. We don't have to do any more mapping until Snowport. So long as we don't get arrested, we can, I guess, explore the city to our heart's content until Giverson is back.
I don't know how long it'll be till we get it back. What if it takes him like a month?
I may go investigate the local Masons Guild and see how their crafting is holding up compared to the Stone Teeth.
Are there any that, obviously they are going to be more Ordos focused, but much like the previous town, we've seen other gods apparent. Do you happen to see Eros represented anywhere as we travel through here?
So Ordos, I do not believe would be featured in this city very much.
I wouldn't think
What about
so
the sisters?
outside of just the fact that they're both newer, like in the newer pantheon.
We pull up. The sisters are not a huge part of this country. The weird edgy people that you're looking for are in Abrea.
Listen, he's not. I mean, they're the guardians of life and death. It's not like he doesn't worship them. It's a mercenary thing, because most mercenaries will dedicate their kills or something to the god of death. And
I mean, there's multiple gods of death, but it also is,
But she's the bad bitch.
It sounds like the kid in high school who's trying to be edgy and say that they're this edgy goth, and you're like, oh, totally goth, and I worship the god of death. It's like, okay, Charles.
The name choice got me. The name got me.
I just feel like, as the kind of shit Theo has gone through, the only two gods that even make any sense to him are luck gods and the sisters. It's like they're the only ones that apparently have been looking out for him. You don't survive the shit he has survived without some kind of ridiculous amount of luck on your side.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I had a thought.
Yeah.
Time moves different in the tavern. Yes.
Yeah.
Does it always move slower though?
I have no idea. It's magic. You're asking someone who knows nothing about magic.
A valid point. You may want to talk to some of the fateless.
You mean some of the agents?
Yes, that's what I meant.
The agents aren't fateless.
Yeah,
We are.
yeah. I'm just going to talk to myself till I figure this out.
Sometimes it's all you need, so I get it.
We gotta find a tavern first. He's just gonna look for one that's not shady, but not like the high-end tavern. Just kind of like the Sinful Red. Just the normal tavern that people go to.
Okay, our tavern hunter.
Probably the one that seems like it's a little bit more busy than the rest of them. It's easier to learn stuff in places like that.
That's fair. So that sounds to me like a society seems to be the best gauge to see like the clientele
Society.
of said
It's
tavern.
fair. I suck at society, so here goes this. Society. Roll. I got a 3. He's not a good judge of character yet.
All right.
Because I have
Normally,
no
I would
charisma.
follow your lead, but
That place looks like shit.
I'm gonna call Theo out here. If Silver will let me, I would also like to roll the society roll, but I'm going to use one of the dice sets that Theo sent me for Christmas. Thank you. So if this roll sucks, it's not
It's
mine.
blame
I
Theo.
sent you one set of dice.
This is true, and I got 2 sets for Christmas. So, but this one is the metal dragon dice. I think
Yes.
is what you call it. Yeah, they look very cool. And that is an 18.
An 18.
Take that. That's a good
So, so I would say for an 18, the roll, like the one that he was the couple he was drawn to as you're heading into the city, you are like, these are not good.
I don't
Theo was
need
like,
to
I'm gonna go
second guess
here.
you.
I feel comfortable here.
That's a little rougher than I'd like. I don't think anyone there has heard of the duvet.
And another one of the ones that he was looking at was, you caught the sight that it is 110% of brothel. So there's that.
And that one, I'm pretty sure there's naked ladies in.
He doesn't change his mind on that one. I mean,
But like a sketchy brothel.
ooh.
We should remember that place when we get Guy back with us.
So you're gonna head further into the city itself, like actually inside the walls of the city.
Yeah. I mean, we're planning on staying there for a couple of days while we figured out
Yeah.
until we learn what's going on with Guy.
All right, so I'll give Dorric a choice.
Okay.
As you're looking, you find there's 3 taverns that seem to be a clientele that would probably be good for information.
Okay.
One appears to be like merchants and traders and people traveling from outside the city. So that, I don't know if that's what you're necessarily looking for. A second one appears to be locals of the city proper, like people who are working like labor jobs around the city.
So
So
working
the common
okay.
man. Yeah,
Gotcha.
the commoner type tavern.
Okay.
And then there's a third tavern that is more of that sort of commoner and laborer type, but it also seems to feature not necessarily a rougher crowd, but like probably ones who,
They're okay getting a hand
don't
dirty.
work. Yeah, they're not working in, the nice part of town. They're probably working in some of the less nice parts of the city.
Okay. Let's see. The question here is, as a player, which do I want? And then which one would Dorric actually want? Is the question.
Yeah.
So I know what.
I will say the second one for that commoner type, that's also seems to be sort of like guild people are there, because you see people wearing like sort of like matching sort of colors, or like different parts of their outfit are matching. So like they're probably part of a guild of some kind.
Okay, and that's what I rolled the d6 to decide, because I can't make a decision. We're going to go with that middle one. the
Okay.
locals with some potential guild member. Theo, I really think we should choose this one over there. There seemed to be a good mix of locals and also merchants, members of guilds and things like that. I think that could be quite beneficial to us in spending time here.
All right, I still feel the brothel was a good choice, though.
I think you can go there by the hour if you really need. I mean, nope, no. End of sentence.
All right, we gotta make sure we stay out of trouble while we're here.
And you're the one that wants to go to the brothel.
It's not illegal. Apparently, it's there. If it was an illegal place, they wouldn't let it be there.
Which brings me to an observation that Theo has just pointed out. How did the citizens here, like just looking around, attitude and stuff, compare to the folks in the last town we were in? Crap, what was it called? Dang it. Elderborough. Yeah.
So, the people here in this city, they are still sort of that sort of quiet, kind of that a little bit more withdrawn, but you don't see the people in uniform of the Ordosi order as frequently.
Okay.
So it appears to be like the actual military branches of the church are not as in force in this city. So it's a little bit more relaxed, but it still is that sort of kind of dour, where everybody's trying to follow everything. Like, it's very orderly, very
Everybody's reserved, but not beat down.
Of course, the church's military is not going to be actively prevalent in the capital. It'll make the people think the church is evil.
Yeah.
Well, no, you never asked if anybody thought the church was evil.
It's one of those things. It's just like you never keep that high of a military presence in your own capital. It'll 100% look like a police state.
At least where people can see it.
Yeah. That's general government right there. That's just how that works. All right. What is the name of this tavern?
This tavern.
How should I ask?
I'm only asking the name of the tavern. Just this one, not the other ones.
The Velvet.
This tavern.
God. That was actually the name of the one that was the brothel.
No, it was not.
Well, that seems like an upper class brothel.
Yeah, it's true.
Velvet's expensive.
Jesus. So that's right. I can tell. So this tavern is the hot and cold.
Simple, straightforward.
And I will give you a little detail on this tavern's its shape, because it's a little bit it's a bit of an odd building. So this building itself, the entryway is like this. It's almost like this, like an A shape, like the letter A. There's a door into this this area. You can see where there's windows, and then you don't really see any people in that area. There's basically just like a single table right there. It's a very odd looking building.
All right then. Yeah.
Where's the bar? I'm confused.
Well, we gotta go inside the building, do we not?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Yeah. This place doesn't have an outdoor bar in the far north? How absurd.
So when you enter into the building, there's the table there, and there's a door. So on either side of the room where the slope comes down, there's a door. The doors are labeled hot and cold. There's hot and cold are the two doors.
That's weird.
The hot side is the left. The cold side is the right.
I would like to touch both doors. Are they temperature labeled? Or do they feel the same?
Actually, they would be. The hot side would be slightly warm to the touch, and the cold side would be slightly cool to the touch.
Just gonna walk in the hot side.
So you open the door to the hot side, and I'm gonna need I think I'm gonna need a fortitude from Theo because it's gonna hit him pretty hard.
Fortitude?
Yes.
12.
Okay, so it's gonna hit you pretty hard. It's gonna be very disorienting. If you've ever been somewhere that's very, very cold, and then you open a door to a sauna.
Dear God!
Oh.
This is supposed to be a tavern, not a fucking sauna. What am I in, a volcano?
I think they might have found that. Wait, there's not a volcano anywhere around here, is there? No. There's no mountains at all.
I just wanted a normal tavern. Someplace we can bed our horses and sleep for a couple days.
Upon seeing Theo enter there, I'll press and open the cold side.
Yeah, and it is a very, very it's colder than it is outside.
I have chosen very poorly. I apologize. So we're either going to sweat our balls off or freeze. We might as well sleep outside.
This is the locals' place? So do these two doors inside connect?
Not from where you can see, no.
Okay.
Because you basically go downstairs behind the doors.
Yeah.
I'll step back and go, Theo, this one's very cold. I don't know which one's worse to sleep in.
Oh, I don't think it matters.
I can only take off so much clothes.
I don't think it matters. Let's just go. See if they have any rooms available.
That's a valid point. He'll follow behind Theo.
I really hope it evens out at some point.
So you head down to the hot side?
Yeah.
So it definitely is that sort of like sauna type feel to the temperature. It's hot. It's kind of humid. You actually notice that as you get down to the actual ground level there is like a sort of like that large sort of you can see like a large sort of fenced off area that you can hear like water through. So it's like a hot springs there, like private little hot springs areas if you want to use them.
Oh, that's cool.
There is a bar counter in this side, and you notice that there is a door kind of underneath where the stairs are that heads into what would be towards the cold side of the building.
Oh, okay. So you still have access to the rest.
You'll notice also the sort of that like right-on menus thing that they have. What's up there for like specials are all cold things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like cold drinks and like a, ice cream type stuff, like that kind of.
Just gonna walk up to the bar counter. We need stable room for 2 horses and room and board for 2 people.
Well, for stable room, I can recommend a stable in the city. We don't have any in our establishment.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And rooms we do have.
Okay.
Can we get a room for the ponies?
No, we're not bringing enough horses inside the house. We're not from here, so I have to ask. Do the temperatures in the rooms even out to where they're not sweating throughout the night?
He'll laugh and he says, "Well, the actual rooms themselves are separate from both of the tavern sides."
Is this some kind of geothermal anomaly?
It's a hot spring. Have you never seen a hot spring?
So I was going to say
I don't know.
Yeah. So the one thing I'll notice about the waitstaff here is they are those who have been touched by elemental magics.
Fair.
So like these guys, the ones on this side are like the I believe it's the Ifrit in Pathfinder, where they are flame based,
flame touched.
Yep. Man, his hook size is like it's Sorry, my brain just lost my train of thought.
Cool thing about the elemental touch things in Pathfinder is that they can be any race. Doesn't necessarily lead it to like elf, like in D&D.
Huh.
Yeah, like elf-like or human-like. It's anybody can be touched by it. It's part of your versatile heritage.
Huh. That's cool. I didn't see that.
Alright, so guess we'll get our rooms. We'll write a letter to Guy. Then we'll go find stables for the horses.
Sounds like a plan. Where is the post office?
Yes.
There's got to be a postal system in this town. As orderly as it is, don't tell me there's not a postmaster here.
So he says if you're looking for the post, the stable I normally recommend is not in the right direction, but the secondary one is you'll pass the post on the way.
Of course.
Okay.
And he'll give you directions. Basically, just follow down this street and make a turn at this tavern.
Dorric writes it down so we don't get lost. I'm not going
probably
to
smart.
Dorric will.
We'll take the rooms for 3 days to start with. We may need more time. Our friend that we are waiting on is currently in school.
He's about to graduate. Do they have a graduation party we could attend there? I'd love to see him walk across.
I don't think that's how it works.
So this person's gonna kind of look at you and says, "Do you want one room or two?"
If one room comes with 2 beds, it's fine.
We're
We just
not
need
a
2
couple.
beds. Oh God, Dorric, what were you told?
Well, our rooms do not come with double beds, so 2 it is.
That's fine. 2 rooms.
So they are 1 gold a night, but since you are staying for 3, I will take the third night. Take the third night at half price.
So 5 gold total for 3 nights for the both of us.
Correct.
All right, he puts the 5 gold on the counter.
Thank you, Sugar Daddy.
So
Don't say that stuff.
raises an eyebrow. So I'll take the gold and go to. He'll have to go through the door, and he'll come back with 2 keys. And he'll point to a door over on the far left of the room. Just over through that door. Your keys have a number on them to go assign to the room you're going to.
All right. Thank you. He's going to go find his room, make sure the key works, and then go back out to his horse.
Dorric will follow suit.
So the rooms are cut into the stone,
That's neat.
and they're completely underground. So there's no windows.
That's fine.
There is like a painting up to kind of give you the impression of a window, but there's no actual window.
That's some Minecraft shit right there.
I was going to say cruise ship, but sure. There's just this little painting on the wall, like this little outdoor scene in this painting.
Alright, we gotta go find that we're heading. It follows the direction they were told to the post.
And the whole time, I'm apologizing to Coco. I'm sorry, they don't have a stable wheel. We're putting you up in the finest one we can find, though. You know, just making sure she knows we're doing everything we can for her. And that is probably the legitimate response of Theo.
I was gonna say another phrasing.
When they get to the post,
Yeah,
they just write the letter. The letter will say, "Guy, we have made it to Starkhold. We're staying at the Hot and Cold. Give us an update when you know how long you're going to be."
Send us a graduation invitation.
Writes on there, Dorric says.
So please also copy your note into the Discord so I can give it to Jake when it's his time up.
Yep, I will put it in our chat. So he didn't see it yet.
Yeah, so you write your note, and then you go to the tavern. You go to the stables.
Yeah.
And the person there says that you can rent a stable stall for as long as you're in the city. The price for the stall is 5 silver for each stall.
Okay. Is that per day or just total?
Per day.
Okay. We'll start with 3 days. So 3 gold total for 2 stalls.
Excellent. Is there any special dietary concerns you have with your animals to make sure they get the stay they need?
They've been good horses and kind of pets Lumos on the side. I think every now and then they deserve some chocolate.
Dorric will pull out a pen and pad and start writing down the brushing routine for Coco, including directional and illustrations on how to properly care for Coco, and also lists her preferred foods and foods he suspects may be an allergy for her.
I said the chocolate thing because when I was in high school, I had a friend who had a horse whose favorite, like, once a month treat was chocolate.
Well, I did roll a blind GM roll to see how much of this the person's actually going to follow. So I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but I will, after everything's over, I will say it for the listeners what the roll total was.
All right.
So if you guys could block your ears for a second.
Yes, okay. Hang on. Just take them off your head, dumbass.
So, for the listeners, the roll to pay attention to what he actually wrote down was an 18. So we'll see what they think when they come back when it's more or less followed.
Okay, then.
That was a little longer conversation than I expected with the listener.
Yeah. I had to give him a little fun tidbit there.
All right. I think after stabling the horses, they would just, because it's probably getting late, just head back to the inn for the night.
Yep. Yeah, so you'll go back to your inn. Do you wish to explore the cold side of the tavern before you go to your rooms? Because you notice the doors access both sides of the tavern.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. I could go for some hot food anyways.
Yeah, so actually in the cold side, it's all hot food and drinks. Nice. And it is, what are they called? This tab. Right? This tab? Am I the right tab? I'm in the right tab. They are... Is that what... Those are fun. So on this side, they are, I believe it's an undine, is the term. So it's the people touched by the plane of water.
Undine.
I thought you said undying. I was like, the fuck? There's zombies here?
It's like a undying or undine. I don't do good with pronunciations. I'm American. And from the Midwest, so it makes it even worse. And you would have saw when you were in your the back part where the rooms are, they're O-Reds. The ones touched by Earth are like the staff in that part of the tavern.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
So it's like 3 of the elemental people are represented in this tavern. We don't talk about the air people.
Is their name Bruno?
Yeah, so that's where we will we'll end it there as you head into the tavern to shut down after getting to the city, kind of getting your sort of established and getting a letter off to Guy and all that fun stuff.
I feel like we did a lot this time of this episode, and I hope you do too, listener. I hope that you appreciate the love and care that we put into every episode that we make. Actually, we're just here to have fun. But you know, we hope you are enjoying it. If you are giving us that rating and review, give us 5 stars. You know, you think we deserve it. If not, give us a fair score. But let us know why. You know. We'd love to continue to grow and improve as we go. So, thanks.
And you can always join us on Discord or any of our social medias. There is a link to the Discord at the end of every episode in the description. You can always just hop in, have conversations with us. One of us is always there listening. And if Discord's not your thing, social media, we have Facebook, Instagram, formerly Twitter. I've been scrolling that one more often lately. And every episode we release a little graphic to go with it. And on each graphic, there is a hidden image. And if you can point it out, let us know, and we'll give you a shout out in the episode.
I was really sad the hidden image on the Children Have Secrets one wasn't a Chris Hansen, because it would be pretty hilarious.
A lot of that stuff is copyrighted.
Well, I know, but his face shows up in all kinds of like videos and stuff, just like that, sort of like that glare he has. Just have that like faded in the background of that picture would be pretty funny. Because it was children's toys and police stations.
Oh, wow.
It was a perfect setup for it. So we got the socials, the Discord, and the written view. So last is the theme of the week. And my theme of the week, since it was so rudely interrupted by their back and forth.
Sorry.
What do you think the sassy morning bartender's comeback was to the question about where is the post office.
Well, I know what I think the answer is.
Well, then, I hope you share it when the theme of the week comes up.
I'm making a note.
And as always,
We
love
We
you.
love you.
Bye.
And goodbye.